that they're changing my voice. Now, when a straight black person is persecuted in a society where you can't trust anybody, mind you, the right wing is very much white and Jewish supremacy heavy. No offense to anybody, that's just mainstream politics, right? We see with the support for Israel, whether they should support him or not, we'll say to not break the rules on TikTok, okay? Because they're very, they're cracking on the rules, targeting me to a high degree. And the left wing is very much kind of feminist and pro-LGBT, and they're very aggressive, just like the right wing, okay? And you can't trust basically anybody, any group. So my question to you, I'm going to pose this as a question so I don't break the rules. Is it not logical for that straight black person, especially if he's the most righteous person that ever lived, to appeal to God and to want God to punish them like we see in Psalms, okay, where David is praying to God to punish his enemies, okay? Is that not logical and the understandable response? And it's overkill by how obvious it is that there's a God. Well, some guys making a lot of noise. It's overkill by how obvious it is that there's a God, right? What are the odds that things exist under these exact circumstances? Just look at animals' horns, for example. They just happen to tell early primates, right? And people, as they evolve, those who are smart enough to choose nature over technology, okay, they evolve to kind of study nature more and more over hundreds of thousands of years, okay? And they don't have any horns of their own, right? They just have their hands and feet, right? And so they see these various horns, and animals get killed all the time, so their horns are left behind to be used as weapons. They're sticks, and they're various shapes and sizes. And they just happen to go along with the human body type and help them strike. And it just happens to be part of martial arts, which becomes the most effective way to cultivate the mind, for example, to be healthy, mind, body, soul, and spirit, what have you. What are the odds of that? So I think that the fair and rational person will look at that and say that's basically overwhelming proof that there's a God, okay? And then when you hone your senses, you detect spirits more, and you can tell that there's one spirit that transcends the rest. And this is definitive proof to the rational person of the existence of God. So therefore, my response is the optimum and morally precise and expected human response, especially from the most righteous person that ever lived. So is not the burden of proof on the opposition to show that it's not logical to assume and to know that I'm being persecuted with 23 witnesses on record, and that I'm given the logical response to it? And is it not unreasonable for TikTok to insist that I tiptoe through the tulips when I explain these outrageous hate crimes that are being committed against me? And the police aren't doing anything about it. The TikTok community won't rally to me either, okay? Nobody's doing anything about it. The local community's not rallying to me. Nothing. So I'm just supposed to be like some kind of slave and take some kind of, psychological and physical, because they're fuming, causing me physical pain, whooping, and not do anything? Don't you think that's outrageous? Don't you think that I have the right to defend myself, verbally and otherwise? Please weigh it in the comments.